Hi, Andrew. My name is Simon J. Lee. I'm a composer and producer from New Zealand, currently based in New York City. I just wanted to say thank you so much for this incredible opportunity to remix Oblivion. It's an honor. I had so much fun with it, and I'd love to show you how I made it. My overall idea for this remix was I really wanted to tell a story. I work a lot in film and TV music, so I really love having a story within the music and taking listeners on that journey. When I listened to the track, what really stood out to me was the hectic bass line. So I went ahead and transcribed the notes from that bass line and used that as a starting point for the melody and reharmonized it from there. So I started off by plunging us deep into a rainforest at dusk. I then introduced the melody and the violins. And I wanted to create this expectation that it was going to be an orchestral piece and then defy that expectation right away with this cool diving synth I made in Zebra. I also layered the melody with some woodwinds. There was also this other vocal line in the bridge of the original song, which I just thought was beautiful. So I really wanted to make that a focus of the remix as well. And so I've doubled that in the build-up with the viola. I wanted to bring together the orchestral and electronic elements in the build-up, so there are these bass and piano elements, including this piano sound, which I sampled from the original stem. And there are these orchestral moments as well. For the vocals, seeing as my piece was so much slower than the original, I ended up singing the lyrics myself, and that sort of allowed me to change up the harmonies in some of the notes.
I've been waiting for someone or something to take me away.
There's also this really cool clarinet figure, which I found from a Sonic Cinema library called Claraloops, which I then reharmonized and used as some background motion. There's also this warpy texture, which is actually just an electric guitar going through a granular effect in Guitar Rig. I hadn't intended it this way from the beginning, but the groove of the piece sort of naturally fell into this drum and bass feel. The drums are made up of this kit from Addictive Drums, layered with some additional drum samples. This hi-hat loop, which I chopped and glitched, and a little shaker from the original stems. And with some bus processing, it sounds like this. With that beat, we're sort of launched out of this serene forest setting and swept into this feeling of needing to run away from something, but also it's a really sentimental feeling, like you're running away because the place you once considered home has been taken away from you. Soaring vocal melody comes back. And then once again, we're met with the bassline melody from the start, but this time in a completely new setting. I then imagine that after running frantically, we leap and fall into this vast expanse of light. I sampled another piano chord from the original stems and manipulated it to sound like this. And did some time stretching and warping and crystallizer to end up with this. And that's the pad that you hear in this big leap moment. Everything becomes really dreamy and fantastical with these roads. We got a little harp in there, Andrew's vocal counter melody, and these string textures that I recorded on my violin. We then had the bassline melody once again, but in this new nostalgic setting. For the final section, I was really into this idea of rebirth and absolution, so it still sounds dreamy, but in a much more optimistic way. We've descended back into the forest, so this is a familiar setting, but our outlook on it is different. We have a more traditional instrumentation with bass guitar, drums, and piano. And there's this slightly reimagined version of the soaring vocal line with a brighter feeling. I recorded another reharmonized version of the lyrics.
I'm waiting for someone or something to take me away.
The bassline melody makes one more appearance in this new vibe. And finally, we end on an uncertain note with this unresolved chord. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me, and thank you again, Andrew, for such a fun and incredible opportunity. I hope you enjoy it.